Hi, Wilbur. This is MR. This is MR Ziegler, who was very active in the leadership of the denomination of the Church of the Brethren.
Okay.
I've got a job for you. You got a job? Doing what? Business manager. Business manager of what? The European program of Brethren Service. Where? Geneva, Switzerland. Can you imagine that? Geneva, Switzerland. For a kid who grew up in the Allegheny Mountains. Ooh, what a bonanza. And lo and behold, I ended up spending about 35 years of my life working with programs of Brethren Service Commission in USA and overseas. It takes very little to say thank you. Some of the most important words we can speak.
Grace Brethren Village is right over here on Taywood. Why don't you check it out? Because I was still working, see, and so, and for us, he knows me, we're better off that he come ahead and look. And then, so that's what happened, you know, and he said, he came over, he talked to Mike, they showed him around, I think they showed him even the apartment. I mean, the cottage, I'm sorry, not the apartment, the cottage. And, you know, he told me, he says, honey, this place is great. You know, it's really great. I want you to come see it. We love it here so much.
Yeah.
We love the family atmosphere.
We kind of got with Leading Edge, and we noticed there's a lot of people that are not just mission-minded that share the same values, but also, you know, not-for-profits also care the same way we do. So we felt like we were part of a bigger organization, you know, we weren't by ourselves anymore. So that was a huge benefit, just that alone. And then you add the advocacy and the education, all the support services that they do. We were just glad to be part of it. Our profession will always be here. I know the politicians and the newspapers, they can't imagine there being a nursing home in the future, but they're always going to be our kind of need. And I see, especially on the non-for-profit, the mission-driven. I mean, 40 years ago when we started, it was not about making money, it was about helping people. And I see 10 years, we'll still all be here. How that'll look, I have no idea, but I know we'll still have people like that work here who's going to care for people.
There was an opportunity in the paper to open up a subacute unit, and I thought it was a good transition. And then once I got my feet wet into long-term care, I've never looked back. I've enjoyed every minute of it since then. We will take our concerns to them, and they take the concerns to the next level. And they'll argue for us, for our rights to have the monies that we may need to care for the residents. They will argue for us to have the rights we need for the residents and the employees. All of our staff currently to further their education. Another thing that Leading Edge does is offer scholarships. And I encourage all of our staff to apply for the scholarships because it doesn't just have to be in nursing. It could be social work, it could be dietary, it could be marketing, it could be any of those areas. The scholarships are available. So I truly do encourage a lot of continuing education, and I don't know that younger people realize how big the long-term care industry is.
I was born in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, the town of Doylestown, which is a suburb north of Philadelphia. It's a very, as it was then and even more so now, it's a very artistic area. A lot of writers. Pearl Buck lived within 2 miles of my home. Oscar Hammerstein lived a mile away. And Paul Whiteman, the band direct leader, and Moss Hart, the playwright. These people all lived in that area. It was so, and a lot of visual artists, painters. I am. I've been doing it all my life. Well, essentially since 6th grade, when Mr. Barney darkened the room one day and set up a bunch of chemical trays and developed a roll of film right there in the classroom, and I was smitten by the whole idea. I thought that was so cool. When I got out of the Air Force, I started working for IBM, and I fixed IBM equipment, the old punched card equipment. This goes way back. and the precursors of the computers. And I did that for 7 or 8 years, and I reached a point where I could see that the future there was, as a technician, there weren't many opportunities. I didn't want to be a manager, but you could be the best technician on the block, and that was about it. And so I decided I wanted to go back to school, but it was, this was kind of in my life, I'd say it was kind of a crisis point. This is where I decided that I needed to make a change. I ended up going to night school for a while I was working for IBM, and then I decided that's it. And amidst cries from people that this is foolish, you have this wonderful job with IBM. How could you possibly leave that and go to school, borrow money and go to school? But I did, and this time made the dean's list. And I had switched to psychology because I knew that the math was always going to be a problem. I switched to experimental psychology, and that's what I got my degree, and I went straight on through then to graduate school, got a PhD at Vanderbilt. So we're the same age, leading age, and I, and the Golden Gate Bridge and the Empire State Building are all 75.
Happy anniversary, and good luck to you in the future.
Leading Age Ohio, we're happy to be part of this great organization, and we wish you all the best as we celebrate our 75th anniversary together.
I certainly do wish Leading Age Ohio a happy 75th birthday. And 75 even seems young to me now, since I am 94 and a half now. And I just feel so lucky to be alive.
Happy 75th anniversary, Leading Age Ohio. May you have 75 more years of committed service to our seniors.
Happy birthday, Leading Age Ohio. Happy birthday, Leading Age Ohio.
Happy birthday, Leading Age Ohio.
Happy birthday, Leading Age of Ohio.
Happy birthday, Leading Age Ohio.
Happy birthday, Leading Age Ohio.
Well, after I graduated, I got a job doing what I liked to do, teach. I taught school. I started out in secondary education. Then I changed my field, went to Bluefield State College and I have a dual certificate for elementary and senior high school. I would think that my major accomplishment was raising 3 gentlemen and a lady. So I think a lot of my children, and I'm very devoted to them, and they are devoted to me. You know, the things that happen in one's life, it happens because sometimes we make the wrong choices and wrong decisions, and I would advise them to ask God to give them the wisdom to make the right choices and the right decisions in life, and be the best that you can be.
Isabel Ridgeway was founded in 1912, 100 years ago. Birthday coming up in September. It was founded by the individual that it's named after, and that's Isabel Ridgeway. She, along with a good friend, Dottie Whitaker, who were members of St. Paul AME Church, founded the facility. What they wanted to do was to be able to take care of homeless individuals, elderly individuals in their community. I think it's also given me personally an opportunity to be involved in the association. I've served on the board. I've also been involved in the National Association in the House of Delegates, and I think that's part of having been part of Leading Age. We still find young people, though, who are still excited about being nursing home administrators. I think that's great, because they're going to have to carry the future forward, is what they're going to have to do. I think those of us who've been around here for a long time, we start, we think about what has happened, what has occurred in the past, and we have all of that information and all that history, and sometimes I think it gets in our way. And I think for the younger people coming on, I think that they're going to be excited about still doing this kind of work and giving this kind of care. I think they're going to have, some of them are still going to have some of the same kind of commitments that we have, to the aging population. You're going to care about elderly people.
When I graduated from college, I didn't have a job, and I moved to Massachusetts with family. And my aunt got me a job working as an activity assistant in a nursing home there. And I loved it and just really connected really well with the residents. And I guess I get kind of busy about stuff, so I approached the administrator to get my activity director certification and was able to do that. And then I relocated back to Ohio, and Isabel Ridgeway gave me my first opportunity to be a director. So I started out as the activities director here and just absolutely loved it, loved the residents.
Well, long-term care was a field that's what I knew. I wanted to be a nurse at first, and I thought, well, let's be a doctor. Then I'm like, I think I want to be a little bit of a life. So I advanced to asking questions about being a nursing home administrator, and it was just lovely things that I heard. So I said, let's do that. So that's how I advanced to that.
I feel fortunate to get a job where I get gratitude, where people thank me, they tell me they love me, they want hugs, and they're concerned about me just as well I'm concerned about them. So really, it all goes back to the love that residents give us.
In the future, I would love to still be as passionate as I started, just still serving. That's the best part about it, serving.
Leading Age Ohio has been very helpful to us. Being a freestanding facility, we all rely on Leading Age to do the research, the background information. Sometimes there's changing coming down the pike. I don't know about it, but Leading Age does. So I am a very faithful reader of the newsletter. It's saved me several things, just bulletins about changes that there isn't really a corporate office when you're freestanding, so I guess maybe Leading Age is a little bit of our corporate office.
I love the work. I've never worked anywhere that I didn't love it. I like to be kind to people, and I like the positive thinking. I cannot handle a person that's always negative. That was a true blessing for me. I mean, I just didn't even have any idea there was a place like this, you know. And I think I've had a smile on my face for the last 6 years since I've been there.
Part of it feels personal because it means friendship making. It means a place where we can go be with colleagues. We strongly believe in the not-for-profit difference. And so here's a place where I can go hang out with my friends and we can talk about what we can do, how we can be innovators. I think National Church Residences looks at itself as an innovator in long-term care, an innovator in all the different care models that could be there for seniors. And I go to Leading Age to hang out with people that are thinking about the same things. We talk together, I get motivation or inspiration from them, being around them. Sometimes we cry together. We got some really big issues facing our industry, and it's a place where I go to learn. I share too, so does all the members of National Church Residences staff. We share what we're doing well, and hopefully that helps others. I think we're going to have to really not just talk about providing the best care, but actually measuring it and proving it to everybody. Maybe we'll be the ones that will make the difference for the nation over the next 20 years as we struggle to deal with this unbelievably large number of seniors coming into the care system. I hope it all happens, but it's going to happen while all of us talking together. And Leading Age is where we go to talk to our friends and kind of conjure up these great ideas.
When I worked here, I worked in construction. I started out, I worked on smokestacks. When I first came to Ohio, the guy offered me a job up on smokestacks, and it was pretty high up, you know, and I didn't mind it. I jumped out of the plane, so I came up here and I was making $87 a month in the Army. And the next thing I knew, they were paying me $500 a week to go up smokestacks. So I kind of enjoyed that. Here's when I got to work with Red Roof Inns. In real estate, I located a lot of sites. I guess I bought 50, 60 sites for Red Roof Inns around the country. The advice I would say is to spend as much time with your mom and dad talking. And you got to have a mom and dad that's going to talk back and give you advice openly. Just the kind of place that you feel good about.
I spent 2 years in service. That obligation was taken care of. And then I had to find out, what am I going to do? How am I going to make an income? I was fortunate that I also was able to create original ideas. In my career, the patent office issued like 43 individual U.S. patents in my name. I guess my core values, when I place it in that order, are that I am proud of having the children that I have.
Born in Lexington, North Carolina, and then my family moved here, like a lot of families from down south, to work in the car industry and the steel mill. I had worked a lot of places, but when I started here, I was so impressed. Like if the residents needed something, here you go to the Central Supply, you can get it, and I'm like, wow, I love my residents. And they made me feel so good when I would be off and I would come back, and they would make me feel like they missed me. And they take us to the Crushers game. I mean, this facility does things like I never heard of. Camping at Camp Cheerful. Who does that? And they take the residents, and oh my God, I can't even tell you how happy these people are, and how it's just life. I mean, they have life again. I believe that what goes around comes around, what goes up comes down. You are what you live. And I believe that God has blessed me for all the years that I tried to be kind and do care. And now He's put me somewhere where they're being kind to me and care about me. And some probably even love me. But my values are that.
I've been drawing ever since, very young. I got some old pictures that I used to draw. With December 7th, 1941. By February, just in 42, after a brief stay overnight in Columbus, Ohio, they put me on a train and I went down to Texas. They had 3 squadrons then on the field, and we were located at Debden Air Base in Essex, in England. Early planes had a rondelle that the British had was a red, white, and blue stripes or circle on the fuselage. But these planes, they changed into the white star on a blue background because they're American pilots flying them. I decided, I was going to be a commercial artist, and that's what I did. One guy there in our organization at that time, he found out I was still in Boy Scouts, and he says, Boy Scouts are wimps. And that just made me furious inside. So, but one of these times when we were just going through midweek, going through these practices, I went out there and I hit him so damn hard. He went to the ground and I stood over him. I said, Boy Scouts are wimps? Trustworthy. The old Scout law, that's the first trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, and so on. I was a Scout, and I had some wonderful experiences in the Scouting.
Happy birthday, Leading Age of Ohio. From the Board of Trustees, the staff and residents of Isabel Ridgeway Care Center.
Happy birthday, Leading Age Ohio, and may you continue to be the source of comfort and happiness to many people in the years to come.
Happy 75th birthday, Leading Age Ohio.
Happy birthday, Leading Age Ohio.
Happy 75th anniversary, Leading Age Ohio.
Happy birthday to Leading Age Ohio. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Leading Age Ohio.
Happy birthday, Leading Age Ohio.
Happy birthday.
Our vision is to provide optimal, not good, but optimal health, healing, hospitality, happiness, and hope for all the residents and families we serve. And those 5 H's are different for you and for me and for each one of those residents. And that's our responsibility to make that happen. I think it's a tremendous support system that we all need to rally behind and champion what Leading Age has done for the organizations.
We are, first of all, the largest employer in the Huff neighborhood. We like to think of ourselves as a jewel in the community. Many of our employees are from the local community, and many of the residents and clients that come here are from within 3 miles of the facility. So that we are very important, a hub of the community. Every nonprofit needs an advocate, and to collaborate with one another for the benefit of the full body of people that we serve. And Leading Age Ohio certainly serves as that. I can say that I've personally benefited from the meetings and seminars and workshops that are provided through Leading Age Ohio and Leading Age nationally.
I've been with Eliza Bryant Village for 31 years. I started off as a nursing assistant, and now they're called state-tested nursing assistant. At that time, I didn't have to have any credentialing, so I just had someone show me what to do. It's rehab to home now. In the past, if a grandchild asked their loved ones or their mother and father, where is the grandmother? They would say, in a nursing home. Now, they can say they are getting rehab so they can get stronger and they're coming home in a little while. Ability to allow people to age in place, to recognize that that is a big change that we're going to be undergoing, to recognize the needs of the elderly population who are aging in place.
Well, I got sick and had to go to the hospital, Charity Hospital, and so after that, they said, and by me living alone, they asked me if I would like to come to a nursing home because I need help, you know, to take care. And so I came to the nursing home, and so I liked it, you know. Eliza Bryant, they were so nice, the aides and the nurses, and also the social workers. Be nice to elders, treat people as you wish to be treated, and mind your own business, you know.
I've been a board member for over 15 years. Currently, I'm the treasurer. I've been treasurer for the last 10 maybe. That's why educating your board is really, really, really important. And because a lot of people join boards because, you know, it's the fashionable thing to do. But being an advocate and understanding exactly what's going on, I think, you know, helps in fundraising, helps in people to vote, educating people how to vote, who to vote for, who's supporting what industry, so they can be an advocate to talk with people, you know, at different kinds of events, at church, at cocktail parties, or whatever, because that's important. I'm just amazed that it's been around 75 years. You know, it just doesn't seem that long because, you know, but I guess it is.
Going to school, helping my mother when I went to work. I had 3 children, took care of them. I got married, my husband, I didn't know my husband that had epileptic fits. And when I seen him the first time, my mother told me, she says, to divorce him. I says, no, I took him for better, for worse.
It's going to evolve into a mission that's focused on having our older adults age creatively and reach their maximum fulfillment. And so we want them to develop intellectually, socially, spiritually, and physically. So we are big on wellness. We are big on resident-led programs, getting the residents more involved, having them decide what things they want to do, and then take responsibility to get them organized and have some fun. Well, I think the association, like us, we've had to change. I think the association's got to go through the same process and figure out how are they going to adjust to the adjustments that we have to make. We know our business is going to change. The way we provide care is going to change, and Leading Age Ohio's got to stay on top of that and continue to be a resource for all of us to tap into. And it's just another chapter of somebody's life, and it's a privilege to be part of it.
Mom and Dad, my sister got them to come here and look at the village when they were visiting her, and they decided this is where they wanted to retire. So they moved here, and we came to visit them, and we were very impressed with the village and with the staff and the way people treated us really like family from day one. I always wanted to teach blind children. I saw a movie about Helen Keller when I was quite young, and I thought I could do that. So that was something that I always wanted to do. And then in high school I had a blind teacher, and he taught me a little bit of Braille and explained some of the ways he coped with various things. And I was just more confirmed that that was what I wanted to do.
I went to college as an art major, which I loved, and had a wonderful professor who said, I've seen you eat, and I've seen how fast you do your art, and you'll be a starving artist. So he said, but you talk real well. So I switched into social work, and I went and worked for a while for Children's Services, and then started into education to help kids figure out their career choices, and just love that. That was just the best choice I've made.
I think I would like to have people value other people for who they are, not based on stereotypes or race or sex or anything else, but just to look at the person, get to know the person, and value them for who they really are. I think it would solve an awful lot of problems in the world.
And what I like the best is they really do love our mom and dad, and Carol and Dick too. I mean, the residents who live here are family, and I just really have appreciated it. So that aspect I knew coming in. The business aspect has been a real learning curve for me, and I've enjoyed that.
We lived on a dairy farm right at the edge of town. So I actually, the first 22 years of my life I spent milking cows. I was ordained then in the United Methodist Church, and then was 2 years in California and 2 years in Wisconsin, and I was invited to come to a First Church in Dayton, and as one of the assistant pastors in a large church there. And then from there, I came to Otterbein in 1966, and so I've been to Otterbein ever since. The major accomplishment, in my opinion, is I've tried to help people help themselves. So I've been involved, for example, in the Community Action Organization in Dayton and regional, as well as the Warren County Council on Aging, which is part of Warren County Community Services, and also the Council on Aging merged, and I've been